Getting a head start on planning for retirement gives you a better opportunity to live the lifestyle you want. I'd like to share 5 key areas that will help you plan ahead of time. But first, what is retirement to you? Does that mean quitting your job altogether or just working part-time? Maybe it's volunteering or focusing more on your hobbies, or for many of us, just spending more time with family and friends. The other important decision is to know how much you need. You start with an income amount and then subtract out the monthly payments that you'll be receiving, such as Social Security or pension payments. And what's left, your income gap, would be the amount that you would need to take from retirement plans and personal savings. Those two things, both knowing what your retirement decision is and your income, will set the stage for then the 5 areas that we want to address today. The first one is looking at the retirement lifestyle that you want. With a retirement lifestyle, you really need to determine what age you want to retire. Let's say age 65, but it's important to have a plan B, so maybe you also say age 70. Then write down a list of everything you want to do, kind of a bucket list. And last, I know you think this is weird, but jot down what a typical day looks like, or a typical week, or a month. The key is knowing what you want out of your retirement lifestyle. The second area that you want to focus on is gathering all of your retirement statements, your pension statements, and Social Security statements. You'll want to reevaluate your risk and look at your diversification. Then pull out your Social Security statements, because you'll also need to determine if you're going to start Social Security early or on time, your normal retirement age, or delay it a while. If you own a pension, there are always several options as far as how to be paid out. So you want to review those and make the best possible choice for you. And the most important is know where your monthly paycheck is going to come from. Is it just coming from one account or a combination of savings, Social Security, and pension payments? The key is reevaluating all of your investments and making sure your risk fits the investments you own. When reevaluating your investments, what I want to do is show you a chart that has a lot of different colors on it, and basically each color represents a different type of investment. As you evaluate your risk tolerance, it's important to diversify in all of the different classes. And as you can see, there's a blue line and an orange line. And if you're me, I wouldn't want to invest in either one, because there are a lot of highs and a lot of lows. And that just adds more risk. And if you look at the yellow line, that seems to be more steady and gradual. And that would be your goal, is to have a mix of investments that has gradual, steady growth at the risk that you are willing to take. The third area of focus is, yes, your health care. And it's really important that you take the time to read and study all you can about Medicare, as well as the supplemental plans that are offered. Learn the expenses and find one that's right for you. The second thing is your long-term care needs. Determine what triggers may be the transition period that moves you from living on your own to asking for help. You want to evaluate the costs associated with those as well. And that leads me to my last point, is both Medicare and long-term care are expensive. And you want to have some kind of an estimate as to what those costs are, and go ahead and jot those down. Number 4. Look at your current spending and evaluate what your retirement spending could be. Yes, this is really called a budget, and no one likes to do it, but it is so important. So let's start by looking at the income that will be coming in and the expenses. The most important thing to do is make sure you have money for your daily living expenses. That could be gas, utilities, groceries, personal needs, and yes, probably prescriptions. And the second thing would be to then have a savings account and make sure at least it's 6 months of your necessities. Because a lot of times our car will break down, our air conditioning may go out. You need to have money for those emergencies. And the third key is to then have any extra funds be available for all those things that you want to do, for your bucket list, your hobbies, travel, those types of things. And I'm sharing with you kind of a very simple version of a budget so that you can take a look at the most important things that you want to make sure you have money for. The last key area is your estate planning documents. It's so important to have a will in place and to also make sure that your beneficiaries are updated. You also want to look at your powers of attorney and make sure that you have two. There's the general power of attorney for most financial decisions, but also have a healthcare power of attorney so that someone can make those healthcare decisions in the event that you're not able to. Living wills are important and are not the same thing as a healthcare power of attorney. A living will direct a physician whether to use life-saving devices or not. And the most important thing is to make sure that you have a written letter of your wishes upon your death. The key is developing all of these different documents and making sure they're in place ahead of time. You can have the retirement lifestyle that you want by hiring a financial planner like Financial Avenues. Contact me today.